So, median and range puzzlers. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of thinking to do because given our puzzlers here, the median number of magazine appearances by 7 models is 5. So we're going to given a little bit of information. Median is 5. The range of a number of magazine appearances by those models is 5. So the range is also 5. And we have to remember that the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest value. So it would be the maximum number minus the minimum number will give us our range. Remember that, okay? So we have our 7 models. Let's put some values here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we know that our median is 5. So remember, the median is our middle value. And if we have 7 values here, we know the middle would be right here, which is 5 because we have 3 on each side. That is our middle value. And our range would be 5 as well. So whatever the max is and whatever the minimum value is here of our models, the number of magazine appearances, the difference between the two of them is 5. So we're going to look at a little question. We're going to determine whether it is true, false, or not enough information given to for us to evaluate whether it's true or false. And if the fewest magazine appearances is 3, so the fewest would be our minimum, right? And then the greatest number of appearances is 9. So is this true or false? So this would be the maximum number of appearances would be 9. The minimum would be 3. So are we given enough information to state whether this statement is true, false, or do we have not enough information to determine that? If the fewest magazine appearances is 3, then the greatest number of appearances is 9. So the fewest number of appearances, if that our minimum is 3, okay, and pretend we were ordering all these values, can our maximum be 9? Now, if you remember, so the median here really isn't going to help us with determining whether this statement is true or false, but our range can, because if we remember, the range is the maximum minus the minimum. So if we take 9 and we subtract 3, we get 6, which would be our range. However, our range in our case, in our statement, is 5. So in this case, our statement would be false because of the value that we were given for our range in the beginning, which was 5, and we've determined with our max minus our min that the range would be 6. So our statement would be false. Let's try another one here. Next question. Okay, the median number of parks cleaned by 10 service workers in a certain year is 4. The range of the number of parks cleaned by those service workers that year is 7. So we have 10 workers. The median is 4. So we have to remember that since we have 10 values here, the 2 middle numbers, we would find the average of those 2. So we can assume right now that maybe both of them were 4. The range of those numbers of the park cleaned by those service workers is 7. So remember, range equals the max minus the minimum. Determine if the following statement is true, false, or does not contain enough information. At least one service worker cleaned 4 parks. Well, we might have enough information for that. But we could also assume that it was 3 and 5 here, which would give us the information of our 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we cannot determine whether that is true or false in this case. The range really wouldn't help us out there. The